Okay,
All right, y'all. So the next topic I would like to talk about is Nelly and Ashanti. So he recently did an interview where he mentioned that one of the reasons that he decided to marry Ashanti was so that she would not be a baby mama. So, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that is that him being a gentleman, or do you think that's like, I don't know, a cop out, or like, what do you guys think about that?
I think he really loves Ashanti and he genuinely married her because he loves her. I think
Hmm.
him, her becoming pregnant
Yeah.
sped up the process, but he genuinely, I can did I say
Hmm.
genuinely loves her, and I respect it. Like he has so much love for her that he don't want the public to call her his baby mama.
Okay, so do
So
you think there is something wrong with being called a baby
I think
mama?
it's some stigma in our
there's nothing
communities
wrong
for
with it.
that, for sure. Because I feel like in other communities, it's partner or, significant other
Child, the
child,
mother of my
mother, father of my child.
mother of my
You know,
Do the white people call they baby
I
mamas
think
baby
they do
mamas?
because we normalized it.
yeah.
I ain't never heard no white man call his baby
I
mama a
don't
baby
think
My
so.
mama.
baby
That's what I'm
mama.
saying.
I asked somebody.
I don't think
I don't,
so. But I mean, I think they say it in more so like this generation of I don't have to be married to have a baby, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like, I kind of try to shy away from saying baby mama because low key, I'm nobody's baby mama. Like as much work as I put in, as much soul and time that I put into these kids, I'm their mother. So you're going to respectfully put me on that
Your child.
pedestal and make sure everyone else is calling me that too. So I feel like with Nelly, this is he's showing us growth. He's showing us so many
Mhm.
like that he loves her. He's like, you're not gonna this woman that is carrying my child. I am now old
Not gonna
enough.
call her
Yeah,
my baby
you
mama.
that is my wife. She is the mother of my children, and you're gonna address her as such. And I feel like that has to be put on a pedestal too, because low key, you're not gonna always just get married after having a baby. Like people, you know, aren't using protection. You might turn around and not like the person the next week. It happens. It very much so well happens. So, I feel like people we got to change the stigma of calling people baby mama, baby daddy. But I feel like it comes from a heaviness or something that's going on between the relationship of the parents and not thinking about the child. Because I feel like we have to be very much healthy in our situations in our homes, really raising these kids. And he's trying to do the right thing of now bringing this child up in a two-parent household, which we know statistically is better. And he's trying to do it right. So shout out to Nelly for that because we want
And I
that.
I
yeah.
respect Kelly. Like he know that Ashanti is an icon. She is that girl. Like y'all not about to disrespect my wife. This is who she is. She is my wife and the
Yeah.
mother of my
We
child.
need more of this. We need more of people, men making their girls their wives. Like we need more representation of this, you
Mhm.
know? Because a lot of times I feel like every day we're seeing so and so is pregnant, so and so is having a baby. So,
Yeah.
we don't see a lot of so and so's getting married. So I think that's important.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
we love,
I'd rather have two healthy parents in two separate households than, two parents and one under one roof of resentment. Like it's just not healthy at all. So he's putting out that energy of, look, this is what it is. We out here. I love it. I mean, I'd
But
rather be called a co-parent, a partner, mother of my children. Here.
do you think when I so I'm gonna take it back and ask a question that will be very controversial. If she was not pregnant, do you think he would have married her?
I think so because,
Right then and there, like
I
right
think
now.
so.
Because that statement that he made was I married her so she wouldn't be. That is why people are in an uproar. Like she wouldn't be labeled as a baby mama. So I don't think the response should have been that because now it's making it look like, oh, he only married her so she wouldn't be labeled as a baby
I
mama.
think he did the right thing. Like, it's just, we have to give credit where credit is due. And keep in mind, they did date in the past. So this is almost like that saying of, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. So they have history. They have history of, they know each other. It's not
Right.
like it was rushed, like I just met her and now she's pregnant, so let me lock it down because I'm grown now. No, it's really a sense of, you know what? I'm doing something different this time. We have a child. We're building a legacy. We're breaking generational curses and that energy of like not marrying the mother of our children. So he's trying to start a new legacy and really continue his musical legacy and really transform his really just his persona of, now he's a family man and he can settle down and he can be focused on his family and doing everything for them. So low key, I feel like it was next. It should have been marriage. Maybe the baby got there a little bit before, but it should have been marriage anyway. If they're bringing it back around and you don't want her to be with no one else, and y'all see the difference now between when y'all were younger, 7 or 8 years ago, to now when you're grown and make these sound decisions, it actually is better. I'm glad they brought a baby up now later on than 7 years ago.
I'm so confused as to why people get in such an uproar about who's getting married or whatever, or who's not, but it's okay to have a baby. Like, oh, she's pregnant.
Marriage
Nobody's
is
like, oh my
hard.
God, pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. Like, why would you guys be okay with her just being pregnant and being a baby mama? Why is that more like acceptable and more like less controversial than him actually wanting to make her his wife?
I think people are in the uproar because of the statement he said. I didn't want her to be labeled as the baby mama. So it's making people like dive in on, oh, well, you just married her because you got her pregnant. Yes, we know she had a previous relationship. They had a previous relationship. But why say, I only married, not I only, but I don't want people to label her as my baby mama. That's why people are
Well, people
putting
be
their
getting
2
caught
cents
up in these words and losing it. Like, y'all don't know their relationship. And then y'all be so happy when they got back together. Why wouldn't y'all be happy that he's making
Exactly.
her?
It's like it's always going to be something.
Love it. I'm happy. I love it. I love Ashanti and Nelly. Like, they are a beautiful couple. I just don't like, he don't have to. I didn't like how I married her so she wouldn't be labeled as a baby mama. He didn't have to say that. Like, just marry her.
It's a
Because
weird
that
thing.
yeah,
Maybe he didn't mean it like that. But I will say, like,
he didn't.
I was not married when I got pregnant, and I didn't want to be a baby mama. I didn't want nobody to call me a baby mama either. And I also feel like I did put pressure on Phil to propose to me once I was pregnant. But ultimately he didn't care about that pressure at all. And looking back, I feel like I'm glad that I know that he didn't marry me just because I'm pregnant. So I feel like, yeah, like making a statement like that does kind of like stale the whole engagement. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be married to somebody because they want to marry you, because they want to spend the rest of their life with you, not because you're pregnant. And so I'm just saying, like, looking back, like, I'm glad, like, I got married because, we want to be together forever, not because I just happen to be pregnant. So yeah, that's a weird statement to make, but we supposed to be minding our business and, wishing people well, especially people who are, doing things positively, moving in a positive direction.
Marriage is hard. It's not easy. So why put that? It's hard, and it's not hard being pregnant, and it's not hard having babies and toddlers and all these different stages either. So you want the help, you want someone there for you, but it doesn't always work out that way. There's this influx of women that just want to be single mothers by choice. They can, if they're just ready to have children and just really be a mother themselves. So I just think we are just in this space of where we're kind of transitioning to you could really do whatever you want to do. And there's so many labels out there now. So it's just like, I mean, technically now I'm considered a single mom, you know, and that shit was not by choice. You know what I mean? It's just by default of divorce. So it's like, now I'm put in this category, but at the same time, I still have the help of their father, and I still am able to do the things I need to do. So like the stigma is changing, I feel, in that kind of way.
And that's
Would you
good.
guys have pressure? Do you think like you would pressure a man into marrying you if you became pregnant? Any one of y'all?
She said
Like,
that
would
I
you?
tried to pressure Phil into it, and he was like, "The fuck, what you talking about? I get it's a baby in there, and that's cool. I'm gonna be here. I'm the pappy, cool." But he like, I was like, I'm pregnant. Let's go. Let's get married. What you waiting on? Like he did not care. But I was
You
raised
think it's because you
from
wanted
a
that because of everyone else? Also, what they were gonna
no,
say?
because that's just, well, yeah, and like
Yeah.
that's just how I was raised. That's just how I was
Same.
brought
Yeah.
up. I thought I was gonna go to hell, like
Yeah.
all kind of
Yeah.
things. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Saying like, okay, we shacking already. We
Stacking.
can't bring a
yeah,
baby in this world. We're not
yeah,
married.
exactly.
Even say the
Like all
cow
the
before the
things. I
cart
thought
or
I thought
something.
it was
The milk
over for
before
me.
the.
Like my dad stopped talking to me. Like I just was like, oh my God, like what am I doing? I done did the worst thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I did put a lot of pressure on Phil. Um, Looking back, that's what I'm saying. Now I feel like I'm glad that he wasn't moved by me saying, like, let's get married because I'm pregnant. Because now I know he wanted to be with me, not because of the baby.
Right.
Because he looked me dead in my
Because
eye.
you don't want to force a man to marry you and be with you because
Yeah.
you're pregnant. Because now he's marrying you for the wrong reasons. Like I want if a man comes to me and marry me, I want you to marry me because you
Mm-hmm.
love me, not because he brought a child in this world. Like you love me, we're gonna grow together, we're gonna build together, not because
Right.
of
Yeah,
you.
that does start the energy off a little rocky for the nuptials. Yeah, I understand what you're
Right.
saying. I had 3.5 babies before I got married that were out in the world thriving. So I was definitely baby mama. I was, going to the arenas all around, and the name is not matching the last name of everything. So it got annoying, and doctor's appointments and things like that. But I did feel.
That used to bother me
Yeah,
so
same
bad.
here.
That didn't
Yeah. I'll be like, dang,
that
that's
used to
the
bother
baby
me. I was like, oh
mama.
my
There she
God.
go. Yeah.
But some states have common law marriage. I mean, y'all were together for years before y'all, solidified it. Some states, acknowledge marriage and you don't have to do the paperwork just because of how many years you've
Yeah.
been together.
And or under the same roof too, for sure.
Yeah.
Arizona was not having it.
My mama and daddy do not care about no common law marriage. Okay. My mama and daddy
Common
was
law, this
like,
this household. This
what y'all
legacy.
doing?
Common law y'all ass down that
But they
aisle.
know
Okay.
it's helpful. It's helpful.
Phil mama was like, so what y'all gonna do? Okay. Like she was dead ass. Like, so what's the
Yeah.
plan? Okay.
It's big
So
responsibilities.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
But do y'all think that marriage really changes a relationship, or is it just paperwork?
Mm.
Like
I do
it's
feel like marriage can
legal?
change a relationship because so many people have put out like what marriage is supposed to be. Like we go into a marriage and we like, oh, we're supposed to change. Now that we're married, we're supposed to do this. And I feel like it makes the relationship more strict. Um,
Mhm.
I just feel like the world has changed what marriage
Mm-hmm.
really is. And courts and especially America has scared people away from becoming
Mm.
married. Because especially men,
Mhm.
because the laws are in it. When you get a divorce, oh, they worry about what if we don't make it work and we have to go through a divorce. All that I brought to the table, now I have to split it and I'll lose a lot of things because now that we're married and we have the outside coming into our marriage telling us what we should do once we separate. So it's a lot. It's a lot to weigh on when you do get married. What you think about if it doesn't work, it's just a lot.
Yeah, historically, we got married because we needed credit. We need to get a job. We needed some extra income for the household. That's what marriage really started from back in the day was, in order to have your own cars, things in your name, you had to get married. And so now it's turned into like, let me solidify this partnership, this relationship. And it's really became now, I feel like it still was a business contract, but now it's become a business contract. Going back to what you said, Rel, the prenups, the options of what these things are, which is very valid and very safe and very protective and very necessary. But it does start to hinder when you have to add the paperwork of like, before we get married, let's talk about this. Because it is two whole people are coming together and causing one union. And now there are separation of bills. There's one household. There's, children. There's all kinds of things, these factors. So I feel like low key, I know we've had this discussion a little bit before of like, would you get married again or things like that? But like, I'm starting to see the influx of like partnerships and like these long-term committed relationships where people are just still doing what they want to do and whatever their marriage looks like to them is what it's going to be. Because at the end of the day, you got to live with this person. And if y'all decide to go to your own way, you just can keep it going without like paperwork or anything like that. So it's almost like, what are the benefits of marriage that outside of partnership, outside of, business contracts, the piece of paper, those things like that, It's just per person at this point. Yeah. What does that look like?
It is a business contract. It is a legal issue, a legal document. Like, I do think you should both have lawyers. I think you should protect yourself. But at the end of the day, like, I still believe like marriage is something that you do under God. Like, you marry under God. This is an oath that you take under God. So like, you can protect yourself legally. Like if you want to take the steps and make sure, like if you don't want her to get any of what you got and you don't want him, like there's ways that you can protect yourself and that's easy. I mean, it might not be the easiest conversation, but there's ways to protect yourself. And then everything else I think is, you seek guidance under God. Like you get marriage counseling, like before you get married, like there's things and there's ways to like, that might help you see marriage differently. You know what I mean? Like if you let all these outside worldly things stop you from seeing the greatness of what marriage can be, then yeah, it's not going to work. But if we remember like what marriage is and what it's for, what the foundation of marriage is, then I think there's a chance for it. And it might not seem so scary because you have the tools and you have everything that you need in place to give it a chance to see, to not come from a place of fear, because I don't think that's what marriage should feel like. It shouldn't feel, once you let all these worldly things
It should feel
in,
like a business deal.
Right. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate that that's where we are, but I mean, it's real. It's real. And that's why we need more like representation. We need more people talking about it. We need more men who are married to have conversations with men who aren't, and or the men who do want to be married. Like y'all need to get out here and like talk to the women and tell them like, just we need to talk. Because I think there are people out here who still believe in marriage, who still want it. They're just afraid.
It's coming from fear. I agree with you, Ashley. A place of fear and the unknown, but it's not easy. You have to be ready. Two willing and able participants for sure. Locked in. Do you all feel like if a man doesn't marry the mother of his, like someone, a woman that's pregnant, do you feel like he's not being responsible? Or vice versa? Like if a lady is like, you know what, we'll just keep it separate. Do you agree?
I feel like if a man doesn't step up and take care of the responsibility of having a child and making sure the mother of that child is in a space that's not saying that he needs to like take care of her, but if that's the mother of your child, like I do feel like there is some responsibility there. And if he doesn't step up, then I would say he is irresponsible, because Bringing a child into this world changes
Mhm.
everything, whether you're married or not.
I don't think you should marry a woman just because you bring a child in this world. Like I said before, even when it comes to Nelly and Ashanti, I feel like before a child, before anything, a man will know if he wants to marry that woman or not.
Yeah, but does it make him less responsible? That's what she was
No,
saying. Like, does
no,
it
it
make
doesn't.
him right?
Makes
That's
you
what
less
I'm saying. But if he
what
doesn't
makes
take care of the kid and the mom in the situation, then yeah, I think it makes him less responsible. It's not about marriage. It's about the child. It's about making sure that they're being taken care of and you step up differently. You can't step up in the same way. You can't move in the same way once you bring a child in. You might not get married, but you definitely got to do more.
It is a difference. It's a responsibility of another human now.
It's not just like y'all are dating. It's not like you're just boyfriend and girlfriend. Even though you're not married, it's changes. Like it's a big change. And I think to like act like it's a light, like it's something light, I think is would be an act of irresponsibility.
Understand? I get that. Okay.
Well, shout out. We need more of these husbands to speak on how happily they are in a
And start
marriage.
recruiting more.
Yes. We need more husbands and not
We
baby
love
dads.
that. We love that.
No
No
more
more
BDs.
BDs.